mentorships I had, teachers. One of my best friend's dad was an Omega, got me in and got me to working in the fraternity. And so being active in a fraternity, I looked for an opportunity to role to best serve. The position that I saw was something that fell naturally to me, was working on the Panhellenic Council. I'm with the Greater Atlanta Panhellenic Council. Right now I'm serving as the vice president for the Greater Atlanta Council. And in that role, that's how I met, I started working with you guys, the NAACP. I think one of the very first events was a political forum that we hosted. It was a joint political forum. And so I'd always stayed active. And as Brother Redding hinted, I think it was during this time, my job, I work in IT and I was teleworking a lot, and I was used to serving, used to being around the brotherhood, used to communing and fraternizing, but I didn't have the opportunity. So during this time period, I said, okay, any opportunity that comes up, I need to find my role and serve. And so during that time period, I started volunteering, food drives. The census was kicking in full gear. So I started participating, made some connections with the census. And also I started noticing the political landscape, the things that were going on in the country. As Brother Keith Redding, Ahmaud Arbery's situation and stuff, being a Black man, I said, okay, I'm not just gonna sit idly by while things happen to me and my ilk. I need to do something to positively impact. And being an Omega fraternity, you know the importance of networking. And so I said, okay, let me combine. From my role on the Panhellenic Council, at the time, president was Kim King, a soror, Delta Sigma Theta sorority. We started branching out to other organizations. Of course, we reached out to NAACP, was our first hand because they're a consistent partner. And we started building our branch from there. So each organization started reaching out to the far reaches of Georgia, saying, hey, who are those counties that are less impacted? Let's call those sororities, fraternity chapters down there. Let's network with them, see what they're doing. Let's see what other organizations are doing. And let's get on the same page. Let's not repeat our actions. Let's try and work together. And so that was my involvement, and start listening in to the meetings, how we can involve, what roles we can play. And the crazy part was we started just within our council, within the Atlanta area. We reached out statewide. And as we continued to work, we started noticing people from outside the state were reaching to us. Different councils from different parts of the country were calling out to us. We had other nonprofit organizations reaching out to us, and they were trying to find out what is the best way we can help Georgia during this election cycle. They offered us money. We had people coming to town to serve and work. And so just being on the Panhellenic Council, I learned how to facilitate and work with other people and just try to keep everybody working together. So in an Omega, we have what's called VREM committee, voter registration and engagement and mobilization committee. But what I'm trying to do, we're trying to do on a council and statewide perspective is that we want to get ahead of the curve. We want to stay in touch with our partners, our community leaders, the Greeks that are in these positions, whether it's city council or in elected positions, be aware of the bills that are coming out, look at those bills, how they affect us, what we can do, like SB 202, how can we get around this? What are the loopholes in this law? What we can do, and we need to study these bills. To that extent, we're reaching out to, there are a couple of policy institutes in Georgia that study bills. We're not trying to repeat the same wheel. We're trying to learn the information they have, and so we can spread it out to our D9 and Team Unity partners. We're also trying to keep our community engaged. It's not a time to say, hey, the election is over, or hey, these voting bills have passed. But what do we do now? How do we keep going? What are the impact of these bills that are coming out? How do we counteract it? And how do we keep everybody engaged? So it's not just a one, hey, we finished this race, let's stop. No, we got to keep going. There are a lot of things from Panhellenic Council of Greater Atlanta. As we mentioned earlier, there are elections that are coming up. For Atlanta, everybody says Atlanta, but it's not just the city of Atlanta. We're also the city of South Fulton, city of College Park, city of East Point. So on a Panhandle perspective, and we're partnering with you guys, the NAACP, we're going to be hosting these town forums to say, hey, these are the laws that are coming out. These are the people that are running for office. They need to come before us, tell us what they're talking about, what their agenda is, what they're thinking, where they see we're going as a community and stuff. And we need to hold them accountable. We need to not just finish a task and then fade away. I think that's where Obama messed up in the midterm elections. We disengaged. We need to stay engaged and be constantly holding these people feet to the fire and not let them get away with anything. We need to tell them what we want and demand.